Adam here with the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is give you a walk around on the 6th gen Toyota 4Runner. We'll look at the interior, exterior, and some of the trim level specifics to see if this might just be the perfect SUV for you. Now let's begin at the front of the 6th gen 4Runner. Maybe it looks familiar to you because it's going to be very similar to the Toyota Tacoma that's been out for a couple years now. Now Toyota's global platform is their new design language going forwards, as well as the chassis that this is built on, but there's a lot of pretty cool stuff with the 4Runner. Now it's about 2 inches wider than the outgoing 4Runner, and depending on which trim level you're looking at, you can get a little over 10 inches of ground clearance. Now up front, you'll notice the grille design, like I said, looks very similar to the Tacoma. The one we have here behind me is the TRD Sport. So there's going to be a lot of different trim levels from the base SR5, which MSRP wise is going to start around $41,000, going all the way up to the Trailhunter or the TRD Pro. Now, before we work our way inside the vehicle, let's talk about the drivetrain and the powertrain. So this one's going to be a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine, and this is going to be, like I said, on their global platform. The thing that's really cool is now they're offering a hybrid. So I believe you go from about 278 horsepower to about 326 when you bump up to the hybrid, but the amount of torque you get with that new hybrid powertrain is pretty cool. So towing has also been updated, as well as the gearbox. This is going to allow you to tow up to 6,000 pounds when properly equipped, and you can even get the trailer brake controller, which is very useful. Now in the back, depending on the trim level you pick, you can either get a power liftgate or just a manual liftgate here, and you'll notice storage is pretty awesome in this vehicle. Now it will also be available depending on trim level with a 3rd row. So if you go with the hybrid option, unfortunately the battery would go in the back, so you wouldn't have the ability for the 3rd row, but I believe it's in the SR5 and then some of the limited models, the 3rd row would be the option there. Now some cool things at the back of the 4Runner, this one will have the parking sensors on the rear, so you're going to have the backup camera inside and the parking sensors to help you out. Now one of my favorite things they kept in classic 4Runner fashion, you have the sliding rear window. Whether you got the dogs back there, you're loading up gear, I love that they kept this. It's one of the coolest features, and when you have all the windows open in the summertime, that makes it really fun as well. But now let's hop into the 2nd row, we'll check out those seats. Now in the back seat, before we hop into the driver's seat here, there's some pretty cool changes to the 4Runner. This one actually gets 2 USB-C charging ports, as well as an AC 120 volt. So if the kids want to keep their stuff charged up when you're on a road trip, that is pretty cool and will keep them busy back here. Now these seats are really comfortable. You can actually pull the handle on the side over here and they'll fold, they'll recline. And what's really cool is this seat, you pull it once with the handle, it'll flip down or it'll flip up again. And then hidden in here, there's a little strap. So that actually hooks up on the headrest here. So that will prevent the seat from folding back down. Toyota really thought about that. I love that they added this little feature in here. But for now, let's hop up to the driver's seat. We'll check that out. Now, why am I holding my phone? That's because we've got wireless charging down here. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, no matter which trim level you're looking at. This is the smaller infotainment display. You can go up to the larger one, which takes up a bunch of space on the dash. It does work really good. I almost prefer a little bit smaller infotainment screen here, but when you get your CarPlay hooked up, Google Maps, Spotify, text messaging, all that is built into here, and it makes it really easy. Now what I do like is these seats. So you've got the 2-tone gray and black. They're going to be heated for the driver and the passenger, and this is the cloth. So depending on which trim level you're looking at, you can maybe go up to the leather if you really want to get the very nice fully loaded models. But I think the heated cloth is comfortable, and in the wintertime it heats up really nicely, and in the summertime it's not so hot. Now speaking of wintertime, Minnesota driving, we've got the heated steering wheel. Absolutely one of my favorite features. I love that it comes on these TRD Sport trim levels. That is pretty cool as well. Now this one will just have the single zone climate control, but I like these knobs down here. It's got a very good feel to it. It's got kind of that off-road feel, if that makes sense. It works nicely, it looks cool, and it's all very easy to use. Now the sport mode, there will be a 2-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive. This is obviously the 4-wheel drive model, so you can select between 4 high, 2 high, and then your 4 low. You do get a couple of different drive modes, and like I said, with that 6,000 pound towing capacity, if you're going to the lake with the boat, you gotta haul anything, you can click the tow haul mode, and that will help you out there. Now another thing that's really cool, the digital gauge cluster. Gives you all of your pertinent information up here. You've got adaptive cruise control with the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. You get so much cool stuff. Blind spot monitoring, the adaptive cruise, emergency braking. Obviously, if you and your family are in the vehicle, you're gonna wanna make sure you're safe, and maybe you're not paying attention, the Toyota will be paying attention for you. So one other cool thing with the TRD Sport trim level, you get the red TRD engine start stop button in here. You also get the leather wrapped TRD shifter in here, and there's a bunch of buttons on the side. So in the back, this actually has the standard household plug-in. So you can kick that on over here. That's a 120 volt. If you're on the campsite, if you need to maybe use something to plug in, I love that. There's plenty of storage and that capability back there. So overall, I know it's a lot of information. Again, MSRP on this one's gonna be around $51,000. They start around the $42,000 price range, and they can go up to about $65,000. I love the new 4Runner. I think they did such a great job. Ride and drive, definitely look forward to that. Once we can get behind the wheel and take one for a spin, we will certainly provide you with the driving review there. But just know at Walser, when you purchase with us, we give you an 8-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty, so you can spend plenty of time on the road not worrying about it and enjoy your new 4Runner. Now that was just a quick look at the 2025 Toyota 4Runner. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.